All right, well, John, we are back at VMware Explore. This time, Barcelona. We had a great Greenplum story in US, and we've got another great one here in Barcelona.
You know, the fun thing about talking with people who work with databases is finding out not that they're using a database, but what they're doing with. So I'm curious to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Sander Janssen from Statistics Netherland to join us. That's a mouthful for me. Sander, how you doing, sir?
Hi, hello. Yeah, all the way from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
From Statistics Netherlands.
Yeah, that's
mouthful.
That is a bit of a mouthful. And joining the podcast is the solution architect from VMware, and his name is Martin Visser. Martin, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you very much. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, so
great to be here at VMware Barcelona.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the first question. How are you guys enjoying VMware Explore Barcelona?
Quite well. Went to multiple sessions. Also, my colleagues were speaking here. So, we've quite a big group, like 10 people. So,
nice.
Big gathering.
Well, yeah, we like we said, we know a little bit about Greenplum, but we're really curious. How are you guys actually using Greenplum over there at Statistics Netherlands?
We started with a couple use cases because we have quite a lot of multiple data sets around our environment. We have data of everyone in the Netherlands about economics and population, etc. And there are certain data sets we cannot calculate on a normal Microsoft SQL environment, and that's when we came in contact with VMware to have a look about Greenplum.
I'm noticing a trend of every time I talk to a Greenplum customer that one of the driving things is scale. Like, what is? I mean, is this just tens or hundreds of terabytes? What's driving? Is that what's helping drive this?
No, I think the main factor is that if you have a traditional Microsoft SQL environment, you only scale vertically, and there's a limit to that. And we started to get sets around a couple terabytes, and we couldn't calculate stuff in a timely fashion. And that's why we needed scale.
So it's that scale-out architecture was really what was attractive.
Yeah. One of the main features, we could start small and then expand if we require it.
Tell us a little bit about the business, though. What exactly does Statistics Netherlands do?
Their main purpose is to produce statistics for everyone in the country, but also for legislators and politicians to make their decisions on. So they calculate the inflation for the country and all kinds of important unemployment data, healthcare stuff. So,
can you recalculate it so there's not so much inflation?
There will be inflation, but and a lot of stuff in analysis.
He's just the guy who counts it. You don't blame him for it, Pete.
Yeah, I'm not a statistician, so I'm not.
But no, so from a data pipeline, what are beyond, I guess, the scale of this? Is there any operational benefits you found from moving to this model?
We had the opportunity to split up Greenplum for multiple use cases. So we kind of bought a too big cluster, so we could host multiple divisions in our company, in our agency to have, for instance, give our team 10% of the performance, and then we could host multiple use cases instead of one.
Oh, so do some consolidation, have
exactly,
one big cluster.
Instead of having a lot of
or
maintenance on multiple servers, you have one environment where a lot of people use different features of Greenplum.
No, it's nice, and particularly with the scale-out architecture, you pull resources so they're available as people need different things for different models. What are you looking at in terms of the future of this environment? What are you looking at or growing or doing different, or what are you looking most forward to?
We're looking forward to the new release of Greenplum next year somewhere. But another feature would be using special features Greenplum provides, which we're not yet using, like certain streaming data or certain features that are quite unique for certain use cases. We have the data to use it on, but we have developers which have been quite traditional for 30 years almost. So we have to provide a certain, how should I call it? I have to motivate them to use new technologies.
Nice. And sitting next to you, Mark, I noticed you're wearing a Pivotal shirt, which tells me you probably have been doing this for a little bit of a while.
I have, yes.
How did this particular statistics? I don't know why I can't say statistics today, but
You could call it CBS for short.
CBS
That's the Dutch version.
there you go. So,
what
what was different with CBS in previous Greenplum environments when you were helping architect this?
Yeah, no, I think the nice thing about CBS is what they're doing with the statistics calculations themselves. So they're using a language called R, which is widely used for statistics, and what they're doing is that, as part of our talk tomorrow, is a bit of a giveaway, but is really that the developers, that all these statistics are kind of handwritten, right? They're very specific to the use cases that Sander described to calculate various. They're not just standard averages type stuff, right? So they have a whole pipeline where developers build these statistics. They then get deployed as containers next to the Greenplum system on all the segments, so it all runs in parallel as well. So it's really a nice way that's kind of a new way to use Greenplum that I hadn't seen before with other customers, where you have that whole development pipeline from the start. They write a bit of code, gets deployed onto Greenplum automatically, and all the statistics are then calculated from that data that's in Greenplum next to where that code then ends up in those containers. So it's really a nice way to have a, rather than a traditional BI environment or machine learning, it's really mixing up the developer pipeline with that, which is a new.
So that's cool. It's not just a database, but you're able to kind of co-locate through containers other DevOps pipelines and things.
That CBS needs to calculate the statistics.
Find those libraries. And what's fun here is, looking at the various Greenplum use cases, I talk to people who, they do power something and it's a billing database and it's a big database, and yes, they're big and impressive, but it's kind of a boring thing. It's like, hey, we take some usage stats and we mail you a bill, which no one really wants. Actually, no one right now really wants to look at a power bill, I promise you. But these academic use cases are some of the most interesting, because are you seeing any different types of insights they're able to pull out that just would have been impossible before? Are there any?
In CBS's case, or in general, do you mean? Or
I guess in CBS or in general, or is it the speed of the insight? What's kind of the underlying driving for academic?
You mentioned the scale-out architecture, right? This is Greenplum provides speed, right? That's one thing. That's what means that they can produce statistics more quickly, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But also there's two other aspects to Greenplum that a lot of our customers use is the easy integration with other systems to pull out data from source systems with the PXF framework and or stream data in. These are things that we're seeing more and more being used in all our customers, where we have customers that we can't mention, but they stream billions of rows every day, right? And for certain types of use cases, but also it's and Statistics Netherlands are experimenting with this as well with geographical use cases, right? It's the data types are no longer just relational data. It's IoT data, it's geospatial, it's all that mix that Greenplum can handle as well, which is what we're seeing more and more that people adopting the platform for. Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating. So, Sander, you guys mentioned that there's going to be a session this week at VMware Explorer. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what that session is.
Yeah, tomorrow Martin and I will be speaking at the event about one of the use cases which we provided an automated pipeline for our developers internally without giving them direct access to the environment, like on the Linux level. So they wanted to build custom stuff, custom containers for the platform, which usually you don't do for Greenplum, but we had to, because we built a lot of code internally, like almost everything is built in-house, nothing is outsourced or anything. So yeah, we had to find a way to give them the possibility to develop for the platform and to build custom stuff. Yeah.
While safely making sure they don't get SSH to your database.
Exactly, yeah, they don't have any access. So that's one of the reasons why we have this presentation, to show that. To show what the platform and Greenplum is, but also show the
flexibility,
automation.
but also keeping the devs from going wild on the data center.
Yeah, it gives them self-service in that way.
No, that's awesome.
Very nice, very nice. Well, yeah, we will be sure to check out that session, and I will leave links to it on the show notes of this podcast so people can watch it after the fact. But yeah, Sander, Mark, thanks for joining us on the Virtually Speaking podcast, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.